So imagine that every day you would need to execute all 1,000 test cases. How painful can it be, and how much time it will take you to do everything manually? Now, also every day you wake up in different mood, right? One day you feel good, you execute, you pay attention to every single detail. Another day you're tired, you cannot pay attention to every single detail, and then you miss. And that's why automation is very, very handy. So 90% of the companies use Selenium WebDriver as an automation tool. Again, Selenium WebDriver is not for mobile testing. And that's what we try to learn here. So what Selenium WebDriver is about? Selenium WebDriver, it's a backend libraries, right? It's a driver. It doesn't have any UI. It doesn't have anything that you can actually see or touch, right? It's something that you install on your computer and then you use it using different UI tools, like different IDEs, or you can do it through command line. So Selenium WebDriver supports different APIs. It supports Java API, it supports Ruby, Python, JavaScript, Perl, wherever you want. So I will try to explain it to the people who never heard about APIs, and for them API sounds like something from different world. So try to imagine like me sitting on the back end here. You don't see me, right? But you know that you can get some kind of information from me when you need me. And you can do it by using different languages. You can use English, you can use Russian, you can use German, for example. And I will reply to you on a language that you're fluent at, because I speak all of them. Same with Selenium. Imagine somebody on the backend who speaks different languages, but it's not a human language, it's a computer languages, right? So we're going to use the language that we're going to talk with Selenium, or Selenium going to talk to us, it's Ruby. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Now, the IDE that we're going to use, it's a RubyMine. Again, ID is not very important. We use it because it looks nice. It's easier to write test cases inside this ID than in a command line. But in general, you don't really need that to use Selenium. Now, on top of it, we're going to use Cucumber. And Cucumber, it's another scripting language that allows us to write test cases in a simple English without actually using any coding commands. For example, in Cucumber, I can write, click the button, blah, blah, blah. After that, switch to link this, then verify this link, then go to this page and verify another button. Okay, and whatever I choose to use in Cucumber, it will understand me. So people who doesn't know any programming language, reading those kind of test cases would be able to reproduce manually everything that you coded. Are we clear so far, guys? Any questions? Oh. What it has to do with Jenkins? Guys, ask question about Selenium only. Okay, let's see. Selenium installation video Firefox is used in the environment, right? Does it matter which browser is used? By default, Selenium is always using Firefox. But yes, you can set it up to use to test any browser. Guys, we will get there. Let's try to start from the basic. Okay, I want you to understand structure that we're gonna use. because that's called framework. So the framework that we're gonna use in our class is Selenium WebDriver that using Ruby API, right? So speaking Ruby to us. There's RubyMind as ID and Cucumber where we run and execute our test cases. We don't have, it's just one type of the framework. No Ruby just because that's what I was using in the time that I started this class. And yes, Ruby it's easier than Java, but in general it doesn't matter what language you're using, because mostly it's not about language, it's about how to use Selenium. Okay, are we clear about that? What we're using: Selenium WebDriver, Ruby API, RubyMind as ID, and Cucumber to run test cases. It should be very, very clear. It's very, very basic information. Okay, good. So now how we're going to use Selenium, right? How Selenium actually recognize what it needs to do. So Selenium talks to the DOM or HTML, and it can locate different elements on a page using different element locators. The most popular element locators, it's ID, classes, and XPaths. So each element on the page, let's take a look on the home Toys R Us page. That's a page that we're gonna automate, right? Each little tiny element on the page, age, girls, boys, toys, show by Toys R Us, each of those pictures and links and letters, and each of it has his own unique identifier in HTML table. So Selenium finds this unique identifier. It can be ID, class, or XPath. So what's the difference in between those three? ID is something unique. So for example, if my element, like this link, has an ID in HTML table, and we're going to look at it later. If it has an ID, I don't need any other information about this element. I can tell to Selenium, okay, find element with ID 123 and click on it. And Selenium will do it. It's like unique house address, right? If I'm telling you, okay, I live, my house number, blah, 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 apartment number, blah, 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 street, blah, 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 you don't need any more information from me. You can find me. Same with ID. Now, class, it's a little bit different. So if your element doesn't have ID, but it has a class, that can be a problem because class is not unique. So several elements on a page, for example, all those links can belong to the same class. And then you cannot use it as identifier, because if you tell to Selenium, okay, find this class and click it, it will tell you, I found this class, but I have 5 or 6 different elements inside this class. I have no idea what to click, so it will throw an error. Right? If we'll try to find an analogy in the real world, if somebody gives you an address and saying, okay, I live on this street and my house is red, find me. I don't remember the number. So if on the street it's only one red house, you will find it. But if it's on the street 5 red houses, you will be in trouble, right? You wouldn't know which house you need. And if we have situation like that, we need to use XPath. So XPath is actually the most powerful locator that Selenium can use. And the XPath is actually the kind of the way to the element that if it's like a, I don't know, GPS, right? That tells you exactly how to get there. If you enter in your GPS, I don't know, I need to get to the hospital, blah, 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 without entering exact address, it will find it and it will tell you, okay, go right, go left, go right, go left. Here we go. You have arrived to your destination. Same with Selenium. You can tell to Selenium which way it needs to go to locate the element that you're interested in, and it will find it. And in this class, we'll try to concentrate on actually XPaths, because if you will figure out how to find correct XPath to the element, I would say you know 60% of Selenium. Okay, so amount of correct XPaths can be almost unlimited. Same as the way that you can drive to reach certain destination. It's all of them will be correct, but some of them will be shorter, some of them will be longer. But they all will arrive to the final destination, to the element that you need. Any questions so far? Everybody is clear? Element is whatever you see. We will get there. How to find it, we will get there. Element is whatever you see on the page. This link is an element. This logo is an element. This picture is an element. This button is an element. This little dot is an element. This arrow, it's an element too. And you would need to locate it, right? Because you would need to tell to Selenium what do you want to click or select. Did I answer the question? No, not three elements exist. All those elements, it can be hundreds of different elements on a page. Images, links, text, whatever, buttons, bars, fields. But the main locators of the elements, it's a lot of different locators. I told you the most popular locators, the most useful. Correct, Valeria. Each element would have OID, O class, or XPath. So each element will have XPath, but not every element will have ID or class. Clear? Guys? Any more questions? Yes, element that has an ID can also has each element has XPath, but not each time you need to find XPath, because if you have an ID, you're pretty safe. Okay, so let's start the fun part. How we find those IDs, how we find those XPaths and classes. So look carefully what I do and try to repeat it. Everybody open toysrus.com. Everybody please open toysrus.com. Open it any way you want. Firefox is better, but you can open it in Chrome. It doesn't really matter right now. Ready? Are you ready, guys? Yes, okay. Look what we do. Please do the right click. Guys, right click on any spot on the page. right click on any spot on a page. Doesn't matter where, here or whatever. Right click. Then find inspect element with a firebug and click it. Do you see what I see? Okay, good. No, not necessarily. Normally it's built in. You can do it on Chrome. It doesn't have firebug. Okay. Do we all see HTML? Marietta, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. We all see HTML. Now try to locate this button. Now, guys, it's not necessarily from the left side. It can be from the right side. It's not necessarily look like that. It can look like a magnifying glass. Each browser is different. But when you point your cursor over this, it should say, click an element in the page to inspect. Everybody found this button? Click an element in the page to inspect. That's what it should say. Yes? Yes, how many yeses? Do we have someone who is lost and cannot find this button? Anyone is lost? Okay, we are waiting. Nikolai, it's not necessarily look like that. It can also look, okay. So also can look like that. And it's not necessarily from the left side. It can be from the right side. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, I don't care what Firefox do you have, Nikolai, really. Okay, ready? So let's see. If we click now, let's try to click on this button. When you click it, it's get activated. It's becoming blue. Then point your cursor over Toys R Us Lego. And you see what happens? It's get highlighted. And then click. So now the row in HTML that got selected, actually that's a row that we're interested in. Or this row or one and above. So let's see what we have here. We have an ID. Okay, an ID is HDR logo. It means when we will write our script, and for example, we would need to click on this logo. All we can say find element with ID equal HDR logo and click on this element and it will click it. We don't need to look for the class. We don't need to look for the XPath. We are all good. Who found it? Okay, guys, I'll wait for everybody. I don't want you to be lost. It's very important. Who is lost, guys? Okay, so people who found it, good. People who didn't find it, talk to me now so we can try it together. Should I repeat the sequence of steps? Okay. Okay, repeating, guys. I'm repeating. No worry. Look what I do. I click this button, right? I clicked it. Now I need to find on the page element that I'm interested in. For example, now I'm interested in Toys R Us logo. I can select anything I want. Babies R Us, Toys R Us logo, shop by, boys toys. But now I want really to know the ID or XPath or class of Toys R Us logo. So I selected that and I clicked. And then this element gets selected in the HTML table. ID is always unique, that's correct. No, it would be nothing else on the page with the same ID. No buttons, no links, no logos, no images. It doesn't have several IDs, Valerie. It has one ID. Take a look at the page. It has one ID. This particular element, this logo, has one ID. Only one. Guys, who did not find it? Anna, we will talk about it. I'm asking you to find this ID. Once again, click this button, put your cursor over element that you're interested to see, and click on it. And here is the ID got selected. Here's your ID, HDR logo. It doesn't have any other IDs. Yes, highlighted is always the row and HTML code that you're interested to look at. Because if you don't do that, the HTML table of this page is pretty big, you see? How can you know where's your element? It will take you forever to find it. You see all those errors? You would never find what you need if you don't do this trick. Click this button, put the cursor over element that you want to work on, and click on this element. And that HTML row gets selected. That one that you need. No, Mariette, I already told you, other elements would never have the same ID. Yes, the one that highlighted, you see the ID is above that. Here's your ID. Here that says ID equal HDR logo. If you will try to search for another HDR logo on the page, you will not find it. Okay, who is not clear, guys? Good, Valerie got it. Anyone, do we have anyone in the class who cannot find it? Okay, everybody found it. Good. Great. Let's keep searching on the page. So click the same button and put your cursor over link age and click it. So what do you see? We see class, correct. We see class. What's a class name? What's a class name, guys? Main nav link, correct. Good, guys. Very nice. Now, can we use it in our script or we cannot use it in our script? Who can tell me? Why can't? How do you know? How do you know that it has many elements? We don't need to specify, but we need to check it out. We need to see the class can be unique, but can be not. Okay? So if element has a class, the first thing you do, you need to verify if this class unique or not unique. So how you do that? Let me show you the trick. So you go to console, find the tab next to your HTML that says console and click it. Everybody is with me? Everybody found console? Yes, okay. So in here, we can actually check if class is unique or not. But unfortunately, we cannot just type the name of the class here. It will not work. It works only with XPaths. So what we're going to do, we type $x. $x, it means I'm debugging. It's part of the syntax in a debugging, in the console debugging. Then we put paren, then double quote, double quote. Now we type A first. Why we type A first? Because our class is under element A. Right? So you need to think about it like when you look at HTML code, like Russian dolls matryoshki, right? To see the last one, you need to open the previous one. And that's how this actually HTML code works. To see the class, you need to tell to Selenium that this class is inside this A box. So you're saying A, and then you say, okay, in A, we have class. And the name of the class is main nav link. Find it. Please don't try to remember syntaxes right now, right? Just remember an idea. So when we look at that like that, what it tells us? It tells us that it has a lot of elements inside this class. Guys, are we clear? And actually, if we will put the cursor over each of these found elements, look, I put the cursor over first element, it selected boys toys. Second one, girls toys. Third one, age. Fourth one, character. Fifth one, brand. So what kind of assumptions can we make based on that? What all those elements are about? What are they? Who can tell me? Correct. They're all links from this menu, from the all categories. So now we know that all links, all category links belong to the same class. Correct? So we cannot say find element class main nav link if we want to click on the age, because that will not find it. It will tell me, I don't know what you want me to click inside this class because it has about 18 different elements in there. So in this scenario, we use XPath, right? That's most powerful thing in Selenium. It's the best locator ever. And XPath, you write again based on HTML code. For example, XPath for this main nav link would be a class main nav link. But what do you think can help us to find our particular element inside this class? What is different in between each of those links? Each of this link, let's see, we can do that. Age, character, brand. Now let's take a look on all those links. There's a one link, and that belongs to age, right? Here's another one, belongs to character. Here's the third one, belongs to brand. So what's the differences in between those three elements? It doesn't have an ID. How ID can be different? Text, correct. Text is different. You're absolutely right, guys. So we can actually tell to Selenium what text we want to use and how we do that. So that's our tiny XPath to the class main nav link. That doesn't help us too much because this class has too many links, too many different elements. So all what we can do, we can add. We said we want this class, and we also want to make sure that in this class we have text, and our text is equal age. Bam! It returns only one element now. And this element age. So that's XPath, what we see here. And between double quotes, it's an XPath that we can use in our code if we want to click on a link age. What if we want to click on a link brand? All what we do, we change it. You see, now it's found brand. Any questions? Come on, guys. No questions? Because it's all clear, or because it's not everybody's lost? What has to do with images right now? Guys, questions? No, text is not equal XPath. Altogether, it's an XPath. If we're using just class, guys, look, unfortunately, in a debug, it would not do that. If I will do something like that. Don't even know how to write it. Okay. Class equal we're not in Selenium yet. Remember, we're just in a console. It will tell me the syntax is illegal. It doesn't understand it. Selenium will understand that. If you would write class equal main nav link, it will not give you an error, but it will not click on anything. So that's class. But in a console, you cannot use class only. You got to use XPath to verify whatever you're verifying, even the very small things. And the XPath, the mini tiny XPath looks like that. Because you're saying, okay, find element A on a page, and under this element find class with this name. And then it finds it for you. But now when you wrote it, you know that you cannot use this class main nav link for Selenium because it has too many elements. So you need to add extra information into your XPath. And for now, all what we need to add is a text because that's a unique thing for each element. So go and text equal age. I didn't copy paste the stuff. I just click the arrow on computer. If you click from the right side on your computer, you have 4 errors, right? If you click the top error, it will bring up the previous page or previous row. See if I'll do. I'm clicking now. I'm going up. Now I can go down. It just makes your life easier. Okay, try to play with it in your console. Who can get the results that I got? Okay. So most of the people didn't get it yet. So now for people who didn't get it, guys, take a look on the error messages that you can get so you know what you're dealing with. For example, if instead of age, I will type age, what do you think it's going to return to me? What did it return? It returned, shoot, sorry. It's returned nothing, right? It returned null. It returned null because the syntaxes that I used is correct. But what it tells me I don't see this element. And if a console doesn't display this element for you, it means Selenium wouldn't see it either. It means something is wrong. So the problem can be in a name that you misspell it, or you can misspell class name, or whatever you misspelled here. But But syntaxes itself is correct. Okay, why it's kicked me out? Just a sec, sorry. Hey. Hey. Okay. So, but if you made a syntaxis mistake, for example, if you forgot single quote here, right? Or if you will forget bracket here, it will give you an error. The expression is not legal expression, meaning it doesn't understand what you're saying, meaning the syntax is wrong. Okay, so what do we have right now? No, syntaxes is identical in every browser. I mean, XPath syntaxes is identical, but Internet Explorer, it's not even the browser, man. You don't code using Internet Explorer. Chrome or Firefox, it will run on Internet Explorer, but what we are doing now, we're using debugging tools. We are learning how to use debugging tools. I have no idea what Internet Explorer even has. Okay, here we go. So until some people keep trying, I'll try to explain what each actually character means in our XPath. So paran, it really has nothing to do with your XPath. It's just a debugging thing. You would never use it in your scripting. Now all XPaths always in double quotes. Each XPath always start from double quotes and end with double quotes. Now // what does that mean? It means that your XPath can start from any part of your HTML table, because XPaths can be absolute XPath or relevant XPath. Relevant XPath, that's what we're going to learn in this class how to do. It can start from any spot in HTML table. Meaning, if we want to start from here, if it's good enough for us, we can. If we want to start it from here, we can do it too. If we want to start it from here, we can do it too. Right? But if we use single slash from a beginning, it means it's an absolute XPath that can start only from the root of HTML page, from right here. And you can see the absolute XPath on top. And you can see how long it is. It's actually by the end will navigate you to the same spot. But it's very, very long. It cannot be, you cannot introduce variables in this, you cannot modify it, you cannot do anything with that. It's very, very bad coding. So I'm not going to even teach you how to do it, because if you would ever show it to any reasonable programmer, they will not talk to you after that. But you need to know that it exists. And if you see XPaths that start like that, it means it's obsolete and cannot be changed. And we will learn later on why it's very bad. Now, what's the add sign mean? Add means attribute of the element. Whatever attribute you would use, class, ID, link, text link, it's a lot of different attributes. And before this attribute, it always be an add sign. Now, single quote, it's when you hard code in something. Any name inside the XPath will be in a single quote. So here we have two names. We have name of the class, that it's main nav link, and we have name of the text, which is age. Now text, it's a built-in function that we call. We will call it, and Selenium has it built in. And by the end of each function, it's always paren paren. More or less clear? Again, guys, that's a little bit even too much information, but eventually, if you will write a lot of those X passes, it will make total sense to you. So don't get scared. Okay. It depends on your background. For some people, it's really loud because they never done it. For some people, it's really easy. But I'm gonna go with the speed for the people that for them it's really, really hard. Okay. Mine is not empty. Console can print up a lot of bunch of stuff. Depends on what you can clear it. You see the button clear? You can clear it and it will be clean. Okay, guys. So now when we have a tiny little idea how to identify elements on a page, we need to learn actually how to write it in our framework. So let's open our RubyMine and let's open test feature file. Now we're not gonna use a Facebook thing, okay? You can, if it's run for you, you can easily delete it because I wanted you to do it just to make sure that framework and settings that you created are working. So now let's create test feature file. It's a Cucumber file. So here we can create our first test case. And when we create any document, we always give it a name, right? So what would be our name of our document would be, let's see, I don't know, acceptance test, right? Let's call it acceptance test. That's name of our document. Now, test case 1. Let's create test case that actually add item to the cart, right? Because that's the most important thing for the commercial website, that you actually can buy an item. So let's give it a name. So what's the purpose of our test case? The purpose of our test case would be verify that item can be added to the cart. Okay? And then our steps. What would be our first step? Click the category. What would be the, let's do, click the category age, right? So when we click category age, let's click it. What happens? Now we need to click subcategory, right? Let's click subcategory big kids. Click it. So we write it in our Cucumber file. Click the subcategory big kids. So what our next step? Next step, we need to select an item, right? So let's say, okay, click the first available item on the page. Let's write it down. Wait. Click the first available item on the page. Please, guys, write it together with me. I want you to do it. Click the first available item on the page. So what would be the next one? click add to cart button, right? Click add to cart button. So we are typing it in. Guys, do it yourself. Don't need copy paste. Click the add to cart button. And then our last step would be verify, okay, that item was actually added to the cart right here. So I already have 3 here. You should have 1. Can remove them to not confuse you. Hold on, let me remove it. Remove. Remove. And now I will add it again. Okay. Okay, so now I'm saying verify that 1 item was added to the cart. I'm going slow, guys. Verify that 1 item was added to the cart. Everybody has what I have? Should I wait? Waiting? Oh my God, you guys, okay. Here. Just copy paste it. Are we all good? Everybody copy pasted? Good. Okay, so we're all now in our feature file. But Cucumber is not just a text editor. Cucumber has a little bit of rules that we need to follow. So that's how our test case will look in any document, right? Wherever we create, that would be the format. So for Cucumber, we need to change it a little bit to adjust the syntaxes. So instead of the name of the, we call it feature. So our feature file has a document with a name, accept and test. Now, instead of test case, we call it scenario. And now, inside the scenario, we have our steps. But for Cucumber to for Cucumber, okay, I'm making those mistakes because I have a lot of code already there, and I don't want you to get confused. So you need to have, it needs to look like that. So all you need to do, you need to add then before each step. Everybody is with me? So everybody who has this picture in front of your eyes has absolutely legit test case written in Cucumber. But you also, what you can see that it's all highlighted in yellow. If it is highlighted like that, it means, okay, you created your test case. And I know what you want to do, but I have no idea how you want to do that. Because Selenium doesn't know English, right? It doesn't understand English. It doesn't know what we mean by click the category age. So where do we explain it to Selenium? We explain it in step RB file. How we explain it? Guys, copy paste. So each step should have separated explanation. So let's try to explain it to the first. Let's try to explain first step to Selenium. Copy paste the first row and go to your step RB file. It's empty now. Copy paste the first row in this file and adjust syntaxes a little bit. Now, guys, it's very, very, very important that this name will be absolutely identical with this name. Look what happened. So now, because they connected by this name. So now look what happened. This first row got unhighlighted. It means it's got connected. So this file and this file now connected. And now when we will ask Selenium click the category age, it will go to RB file for instructions how to do that. Guys, how are we doing? I made it category because I have plenty of code in here hidden that already has this thing. And if I will type it correctly, it will connect to the wrong place. You don't need to do category, okay? You type it right way. I did it so I will not get confused with another test cases. Okay, so now look, if I will okay, hold on guys. It shouldn't be blue. Guys, wait, guys, let's finish something. So let's look what happens if you remove one Y from here. It will become highlighted again. It means now this row and this row is not connected. Okay? Those two are not connected. Now I removed Y from here. Up, they're connected again. Now what's gonna happen if I will add extra space here? They will not be connected again because the space consider a character. So anytime when you see the highlight, check the spelling, check the spaces. If I will do age instead of age, it will not be connected as well because every single character matters. Are we clear on this one, guys? I just want to finish something before I'll let you go. We do understand how test feature file and steps RB file are connected. Everybody understood that? Who didn't understand? Talk. Who needs me to repeat what I just said? Say, who needs me to repeat? Say repeat. Say repeat. Because I don't, okay. Okay, I'm repeating one more time, guys. Please concentrate. So here is our first test case. Here's our first test case. Feature means name of the document. Very, very important to have it. Without this feature, nothing would run. Scenario means test case. Name of scenario doesn't matter. You name it as you wish. It should normally have the purpose of the test case, so you know what your scenario, what your test case will be doing. In our case, we will be adding item to the cart, right? Now here's our steps. Now how we're going to execute the steps? We're going to execute them by writing code inside the RB file. And test feature file connects to RB file by the name of the test case. It doesn't matter what we type in our name. We can type here, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But then if we want this step to be executed, we would need to name our method exactly the same way. Blah, blah, blah. You see now those files are connected. You still didn't tell anything about what you want to do inside this method, but at least you know that the feature file and step RB file now connected by this name. So each time when you click run the test case, it will come to this row. It will read blah, 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 and it will go to your step RB file and will try to find this blah, blah, blah. If it finds it, it will execute everything that you have here. Now we have nothing, but we will eventually. Is it clear? People who didn't understand. No, guys, people who didn't understand from the first time. I want to make sure everybody on the same page. So I'm giving it a normal name. Click the category page. Okay, let's do device here. Okay. Good. So now let's write our first code and tell actually to Selenium what we want to do in this step. So first thing what we want to do, we want actually to open toysrus.com, right? So that's how we say it. We go driver get toysrus.com. So driver, it's a Selenium WebDriver. Get, that's a command that Selenium understands. So we're going driver get http toysrus.com. So what happens in this step? Now, when we execute it, it will open up Toys R Us. But now we wanted not just execute that, but we also wanted to click on the first element that we found. Now, if we wanted to click on ID, now if element that we're interested to click it has an ID, so we write ID here. If the element that we want to use has XPath, we write XPath. If the element that we want to use has class, we type class. So let's go back to our website and see. So remember, first element that we were looking for was a Toys R Us Lego. So if we're interested to click on this Lego, oh, my internet connection is super slow. Okay, we can find the Lego ID name from here, right? And we can paste it in here. And that's it. And then we say, that's so slow. Element click. And then in this scenario, Selenium will get to the toysrus.com and will click on this logo. Now, if we want to click on a main nav link class, we type it like that. Now, we don't want it, right? We don't want right now to click on this logo. We don't need it. We also don't want to click on this class. We know it's not going to work because this class has too many elements. What we want to do, we want to use the XPath. And what was our XPath? Here it is, inside parentheses. We copy it and we paste it in here. And then we say element.click. So now when we try to execute our test case, that will actually run the first step. Now, what I'm gonna do, I want to show you how it goes, but I cannot do it without. I commented out my code because it's a duplicate of already what I have, and it will not run. So you see it's opening up the toysrus.com. Now, okay, and then it will click on the category H. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to have right now. If you will execute your script. That's what that will do. It will not do anything else because we didn't do the second row and we didn't do the third and the fourth and the fifth step. Okay, guys. Any questions? Here we go. Guys, any questions? We're a little bit over time and we didn't finish even half of the material that I wanted to finish. So let's do tomorrow, we will do half and half, okay? So tomorrow I will finish what I didn't finish today and then we will do mobile testing. And your homework for tomorrow will be execute the first step. It's not Selenium is ID, you confuse Vascot. Selenium ID, it's has nothing to do with what we do. No. Oh, RubyMine ID. Sorry. Yes, we have RubyMine ID to write our code in. Ruby as a language, Cucumber to execute code. That's absolutely correct, Vasco. Sorry. In test picture you have. No. Guys, the test case, whatever you write here, it doesn't matter. What matters is that wherever you have here, you should have in here. The beauty of Cucumber that you can write here wherever you want to write. Any more questions? Guys? I don't see any questions. I guess then we are done. Please, for tomorrow, make sure you can execute your test case. Okay? That's very important that you figure that out. Again, if you will not do your homework, you will be lost. For tomorrow, yes. Because we didn't finish today material, I want to keep doing it tomorrow, half of the lesson. Yeah, first, the test case itself will not work. We didn't finish it, right? But first step should work. And all syntaxes you can find on my first lesson material. Everything. Everything is in there. If you will open my first lesson material, man, I'm spending so much time. Here, first lesson, read up. It has everything you need. I will not be able to upload it today, guys. I will start transferring it right now the moment I'm done. Tomorrow morning, I will get back to the office and I will try to upload it. If I would be able to upload it, then it will take me 5 minutes. But for some reason, YouTube is misbehaving with me, and every other video it gives me an error, or it takes for 2-3 hours to upload it. So it's not up to me really. Guys, you have all the steps in my lessons. People, come on. First lesson, open it. You have it all. You also already have lessons uploaded from the previous classes. If you go class, Selenium video, and you listen to Selenium, the lesson 1 from September, it has exactly identical material. Everything is already available for you. You don't need to wait for anything. Okay, guys? Great. You run it. Check that it works. You go right click on your scenario, run, and you run it. Okay, guys, I gotta stop. I wanna go home.